Welcome back to Conscious Creator. Today we're diving deep into one of the most powerful and most misunderstood, in my opinion, forces of the universe. Today's topic is imagination. Albert Einstein once said, "Imagination is more important than knowledge, for knowledge is limited, while imagination embraces the entire world." Einstein understood something very profound, that reality is not built from what already exists, but from what the mind believes is possible. Knowledge explains what is, but imagination creates what comes next. Einstein was not just a scientist, he was also a dreamer. He visualized riding on beams of light long before he could prove it mathematically. It was his ability to imagine realities beyond the limits of current science that led to his breakthroughs in relativity, the very theories that reshaped our understanding of space, time, and energy. He once said his discoveries didn't come from logic alone, but from visualization, intuition, and creative thought experiments. Einstein's real laboratory wasn't filled with equipment, it was simply his mind. He proved that creativity isn't magic, but rather it's trainable. It's a skill that grows when you stop seeing limits and start seeing possibilities. Imagination is the bridge between thought and creation. It's the ability to form ideas, images, and possibilities in the mind that don't yet exist in the physical world. Every invention, every piece of art, every breakthrough in science or spirituality, it all began as an idea, a vision, or a mental picture. In truth, imagination is the womb of creation. It's where energy takes form. It's how consciousness expresses itself into reality. Without imagination, there would be no innovation, no progress, no awakening. It is the creative force of the universe flowing through each and every one of us. So now let's bridge this into science. For centuries, humanity lived under the rules of Newtonian physics, a world of cause and effect, separation, and physical laws that seemed, well, absolute. In this old model, the universe was like a giant machine, very predictable, linear, and fixed. But quantum physics changed everything. The quantum field shows us that reality exists as infinite potential and only takes form when it's observed, meaning consciousness plays a direct role in creating matter. In this new understanding, your thoughts and imagination are not just daydreams. They're energetic blueprints shaping the field of potential into physical experience. In the Newtonian world, imagination was fantasy. In the quantum world, imagination is creative energy. This is why imagination is so powerful. It literally aligns your consciousness with the frequency of what you wish to create. When you see it, feel it, and believe it in your mind, the universe now begins reorganizing itself just to match that vision. Imagination is not a luxury of the human mind, but rather it's a function of consciousness. It's how the divine part of you, that creative spark of source, expresses itself through human form. You were given imagination so you could co-create reality with the universe. It is your tool to design, manifest, and expand the infinite possibilities of existence. Children know this instinctively. They play, dream, and create worlds effortlessly. They haven't yet been taught to doubt, to conform, or to fear being different. Their imagination flows freely because it hasn't been conditioned by limitation. So let's talk about what's happening in the brain when we imagine. Neuroscience shows that imagination lights up many of the same regions that activate when we actually experience something that's happening in real life. The prefrontal cortex, often called the CEO of the brain, helps us plan, predict, and simulate future scenarios, the mental workspace, if you will, where creativity begins. The parietal lobes integrate sensory information, helping us build vivid inner images, and the hippocampus, the same area that processes memory, allows us to remix past experiences into new possibilities. Together, these areas form what scientists call default mode network, the part of the brain active when we daydream, reflect, and imagine. It's as if the brain temporarily disconnects from the external world to explore the internal one, opening a gateway where intuition, creativity, and insight emerge. When you visualize or meditate, you're literally training this neural network, strengthening your brain's ability to turn imagination into reality. That's why visualization and conscious intention are not just spiritual ideas, they're neurobiological tools of creation. But as we grow older, something happens, right? We go to school, we're taught to memorize instead of imagine, we're told to be realistic, to fit in, to follow the rules of a system that values conformity over creativity. Slowly, imagination, which is the essence of our divine creative nature, is slowly suppressed. We're conditioned to believe that daydreaming is now a waste of time, that creativity isn't practical, and that the world is already fixed. The truth is, that's exactly how controlling systems maintain power. If you stop imagining a better world, you'll keep accepting the one that you're given. By suppressing imagination, the collective stays asleep, predictable, compliant, and disconnected from its creative source. But when you awaken your imagination, you become dangerous to limitation itself. You begin to see beyond the illusion, to dream new worlds into being. Every great visionary knew this truth, from Tesla to Da Vinci, from Buddha to Einstein. The imagination is not separate from reality, but rather it's the seed of it. Your imagination sets the frequency that the universe responds or tunes into. When you imagine, you are literally communicating with the quantum field, broadcasting energy that shapes what you experience as real. That's why visualization, meditation, and creative thought are so powerful. They tune your vibration to the reality that you wish to experience. Einstein said, logic will get you from point A to point B, but imagination will take you everywhere. Because logic follows what is, imagination follows what could be. So when you reclaim your imagination, you reclaim your power to create. You also get your free will back. So the next time someone tells you to be realistic, remember this. Every reality that ever existed began in someone's imagination. Your imagination is not a child's game. It is the divine instrument through which reality is shaped. The question is not whether you are imagining, but what you are imagining into existence. Think about that. Imagine that and dream boldly, visualize clearly, have intention, and become the conscious creator of your reality. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Have a good one. Hope you got a lot from that. Don't forget your imagination.